The UDS champion of champions, the undisputed champion. Interesting that they said that this was for the North American region only, though. No, but we have a winner. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys do not miss out on more awesome content. Now, this was a 16-man event before somebody's like, why are we even talking about this? Well, they had a major tournament series throughout the years called the UDS series. And it was basically every winner got a title belt and a 2-round bye. Well, the series kind of came to a close because guess what? You had those 2-round buys were kind of stacking up. You kind of had people a little bit complaining about those, and they were like, all right, we're going to go ahead and sunset this. And then COVID hit, and we never got the finale to the series. So basically, what is it, 3 years later, we finally have the end of the UDS series here. And it was the 16 best duelists that you could have. And honestly, it was pretty cool to see. Now your breakdown, unfortunately, this is not a good format that you want to see this stuff go in here. You had 2 Fire King Snake Eyes variants and the top cut. And I'm also kind of finding this very funny that people are starting to, they're like, oh my gosh, you know, they're all just between, oh, there was also a pure Snake Eyes. People are complaining now that, like, well, the Fire King Snake Eyes and the Snake Eyes deck are the same thing. You know, those 8 cards don't make a difference. Those 8 Fire King cards or whatever supplemental package that they're playing does allow the deck a different form of grind game. And it is challenging a little bit of the format, which you need to pay attention on. And the straggler that got into the top cut was Andres Torres. Now, many of you might have heard that name, smashing down a lot of the competition out here. But Jesse Cotton was able to overcome the entirety of the competition, putting them as the #1 undisputed UDS champion. And he gets an amazing ring out of all of this, which is actually pretty cool, and a cool Black Rose mat as well. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. All right, so winning the event here is actually Jesse's Fire King list. Now, this is actually kind of funny because later on this afternoon, we're going to have to go look at the YCS down in Costa Rica, where we have a completely different story about the meta. But Jesse here, you see the ability to use these Fire King cards to kind of grind things out. You do see that the amazing, I know I'm emphasizing that a lot, Effect Veiler is a stupid, insane card right now, man. Like, that card allows this deck to do some crazy things where it really needs to. Like, Veiler, honestly, being a not once per turn ability to jam something is amazing. I also want to give a shout out here to Crossout Designator. Crossout in this format, I think, since the TCG finally looks like it has a format where crossout is actually valuable. I mean, we've had formats where crossout has seen play, but this is the first time that I've looked at a format and went, wow, you know, like, crossout designator actually is here to serve a purpose on these tipping scales, allowing it to actually cancel out those hand trap-esque effects. Watching crossout, you know, hit imperms, ashes, it was actually kind of crazy to see. Also, Jesse played amazing. We saw normal summon Ash, normal summon Droll. Jesse was not afraid to use these monsters as extension pieces for combo. And I think a lot of people themselves would be afraid for that. Now, Jesse also was playing Delta down here. We actually saw Delta come up in competitive play. A piece of the OCG out here finally getting its way into the TCG. And guess what? Deltas are skyrocketing in value again. I cannot tell you how many times that we've seen this card actually being talked about. And, well, here it is. So that's first place. Moving on along here. We have our finalist playing Snake Eyes. Now, this was actually incredibly crazy to see. They actually chose to play Chalice over things like the Imperm to dodge the value monster that was Crossout Designator, which was actually incredibly an amazing choice to see. Like, the micromanagement of the card choices in this format was actually kind of crazy. We also did see a Magician Souls in here. He did have the Magician Souls acting as a sub-extender to drop a Diabell Star from the deck, be able to deploy itself when your opponent possibly cuts you off or something, or, you know, say for an example, you're stuck on a Snake Eyes Ash on the field that you're cut off from, you know, the Magician Souls gives you the ability to get the extra monster on the field to kind of start your combo. Now, unfortunately, Valor and Imperm do sting a lot. You can't really get a lot off of the value for that, but you know, you can initiate like a Link Summon combo or something along the way if you need to. You do see the enemy controllers in here for the defensive options as well. You know, we're 2 weeks into this format, and you're seeing the format pseudo-evolving at this pace. You also do see down here that we are playing the Foolish spell card down here. I believe it's, what is it, Foolish Return, giving you that ability to send one of those monsters back from the graveyard back into the deck. Actually, we did see this come up on Feature Match, actually dodging the Gimmick Puppet from Andre, and it was really cool to see, like, the management of things like these cards, giving you a huge access option tree to kind of put you into a pretty big place. And of course, we also have crossouts down here as well. You know, still playing one of the better turning point cards in the game. So, okay, good stuff. What else we got back here? We have more Fire Kings. Now, this would be, I think this would be what more people would consider probably your standard-esque build. You're still having a lot of the same stuff in here. Also, Arvada was showing up a lot. I think I was reading just last weekend, actually, from people going, why are people playing Arvada in, you know, this deck? And you just turn up the clock here to this weekend, and you see Arvada's back at it again. Also, both Jesse and Cam's builds here, playing 42 cards, actually, which is pretty interesting, to say the least. 1-for-1 also being a truck right now. Like, that 1-for-1 is insane in this deck. Like, the OCG has it in multiples right now. Like, imagine if the TCG actually had it at multiples. Now, you also do see Crossout down here being pushed to the side as well. It's actually kind of crazy because having the crossouts in the main, I think, is one of the things that gave an edge to Jesse over most of this competition here. As long as you know what you're aiming for or what your best choices are, it's good. Also, 1 Fire King Island, 1 Sanctuary. I feel like that was also pretty normal at this point. And then, of course, only 1 Talents. To be honest with you, Talents still seems like an insanely stupid card where it needs to. I mean, second place did in fact play multiple Talents as a 2 of. So you did have a pretty good spread of things available for you, just so you could do your thing. Outside of that, I mean, this is the end of your Fire. Fire took all 3 of your top spots. I feel like not very many people should be surprised to see the conversion turnover rate for this. It's just kind of how things went overall. I'm not all that surprised, nor should you be. Now, we have the power of our branded Duelist, and this was a pretty interesting choice for the meta here to actually see. A lot of people have talked about, see, I'm not crazy, that branded had a good matchup versus, you know, Fire, but as we saw, you got to win some crucial dice rolls, man. Like, in order to kind of step things up and be able to do your thing, your deck, Gimmick Puppet is the central component. Like, it really is. Also, Andres chose not to play the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon package in the deck. At this point in the format, you have to optimize your deck actually very, very strongly. And cutting out those bricks and allowing you the chance to do that is very good. I also do see the triple Brandon and High Spirits dropping the Masquerade that we saw in the feature match, giving himself a very nice chance to climb up some free ladders. Sometimes you just have to work around things. And then the Mistaken Arrest down here, cutting things off from the deck. Now, unfortunately, this card seems very good in theory, but it doesn't stop Zelantis from chomping up your entire field, you know, setting everything. And, you know, after you get Foolish Burial returned on the Gimmick Puppet to die. It's a series of unfortunate events, per se, out here. But I like this list a lot. 50 cards. I can tell it was optimized for the event, or at least what felt like it was optimized for the event, but unfortunately, Fire's just way further ahead of a lot of the rep meta right now. And that's honestly like the truth. I'm I'm not all that surprised. So that is your breakdown for the Undisputed UDS Championship. What do you guys think? Honestly, the tier of player here was actually pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed watching all of Top Cut. It was pretty good. So comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.